plaintiff, Amanda Brodefear, met the defendant in second grade. And years later, they reconnected and started dating. Amanda knew the defendant was a recovering heroin addict when they got together, but she suspected he was still using because he often disappeared, and she's suing him today for property and emotional distress. Defendant Philip Brand says while dating Amanda, she assaulted him, and as a result, she was arrested, prosecuted, and ended up pleading guilty. Philip says after the assault, Amanda was given 90 days to send a third party to pick up her property. But she didn't start asking for the property until after the 90 days had expired.
All right, start with you.
Actually, I have known Philip since second grade. We rekindled in May of 2013. And in July of 2013, I moved to Florida. We kept in contact. And he actually convinced me to move back in October of 2013 to move in with him and try to start a relationship.
Why'd you leave in July?
I had a personal issue.
All right, and then you came back because that was over?
Yes.
All right.
Well, he convinced me to come back. I could have stayed.
It had to be over, though.
My personal issue? Yes, that was over.
All right, because I'm just saying, you're doing a lot of skipping town here. That's all. Go ahead. So you came back October of 13, and you all dated since that time?
For a few months, and then...
Then you were gone again.
No. I just noticed a different side in him. Mm-hmm. He had explained to me he used to be on heroin in the past, and he was recovering. But within a few months, by January, I noticed many changes in him.
Like what?
He was nodding off. He was disappearing for hours at a time. And
makes sense. If he goes to work and he works hard, he comes home and he nods because he's tired.
Well, that was the other thing.
Disappears and goes to work, right?
Well, he wasn't really actually working a lot as he should. By March, he was fired from his job for not coming in all the time. So from then, it got even worse. Once he got on his unemployment checks, he then started pawning things around the house. And
were you confronting him or discussing it with him?
I was trying to. He always stated to me that he didn't want to talk about it. I'd ask, hey, have you seen my endless love necklace? Oh, no.
Did you ever discover anything or confirm that he had taken anything or catch him in the act, or did he ever admit to anything?
Actually, he took me to the pawn shop that he always takes things to, and I look over in the case, and there is my necklace and bracelet.
He took you so that you can get your things back?
No, he took me because he was paying on something, and when I look over...
He was paying on?
No.
When you saw your things, what did you say to him?
I was like, those look identical to the items that I'm missing at my place.
Let me hear from you, sir.
Well, she's moving her mouth, so most of that's a lie. Basically, well, a lot of what she said's right, except for after February 14, I got laid off from a job. After that, I don't really know a lot of what she's talking about. A lot with the jewelry, I brought her into the pawn shop to show her that it wasn't hers and look up paperwork and show her it wasn't mine. She tends to have a flair for the dramatic with a lot of this stuff. I did used to abuse pain pills, but that was back up to 2010. I was outpatient after that, been clean ever since. So that's actually no big deal. After I was laid off, I only had to pay for a couple months. I pawned stuff to actually pay bills that we didn't need. It's only stuff.
You didn't pawn her things, though?
No, I didn't pawn any of her things.
He comes across as recovered, quite frankly. He doesn't come across as a heroin or a pill addict. I can tell him when I see him.
He's a very good actor.
You're not using anything, are you? Just asking, are you?
Yes, I am on medication.
Right.
I was in a car accident. For
pain pills?
Yes.
She tends to like to mix them with alcohol, and it makes it a little more dramatic.
I don't know anything about all that. Go ahead.
April of 2015, that is where all this is coming from.
What happened?
I actually went out with a friend, came home, asked him if he had given the dogs their medications. He said yes.
The dogs are on something now.
Yeah, what they on? Yeah, what kind of pain pills do they take? Go ahead.
They're allergy medications. He said he had not taken them out to go walking, so I went ahead and did that. As I am walking back into the condo, he is taking every electronic out to his car. I asked him what he was doing, and he said he needed money and was going to pawn everything out of my room. I don't say anything. I just take the dogs inside. He comes in, and all I know is I have my phone in my hand, and I'm watching whatever it is. I caught my eye on the TV. But in the corner of my eye, I just see a fist and a hand trying to get the phone out of my hand. I go down into a ball, and from there, bits and pieces. He's screaming for my dogs to attack me. I am screaming for them to get out of the room. He is able to get me picked up under my legs and onto the couch, but as he has his arms between my leg, or under my knees, my dogs do get in between. One catches him right in the middle of here, and the other one, I believe, I don't know what he was trying to do, but he did scratch him on his back.
How does he owe you for personal property?
When I moved there in October of 2013, I moved everything from Florida into his house. He has not given me any of it back besides some clothes.
He stopped you from getting them?
I have text messages. I have gone to court, and he just will not return any of my personal items.
Yes, sir.
She says you have her personal property?
That is correct. After the incident in April she was talking about, which is completely different than what she said, but she got prosecuted for that, I think pled guilty.
She was prosecuted?
That's correct. She assaulted me. I have pictures of it.
Let's see your pictures. Okay, so they arrested you both?
No, sir.
No,
Why did they arrest
my bruises didn't show up until I got to the courthouse.
To the next day?
She was never touched.
No. My bruises showed up the day right when they were prosecuting me.
Okay, so ultimately your charges were dismissed?
No, my attorney forced me to plead guilty so I can get it off my record,
Forced
and I did exactly what my attorney told me to do.
I got a police report too.
What did you tell the police?
Exactly what I told you.
They didn't believe you?
Because he had marks on him is why they took him instead of me.
I had marks and I was bleeding. She had nothing on her.
Tell me about her property though, sir.
Her property is still all in my place. They had given me 90 days from, I believe it was May 8th when she pled guilty, 90 days from then to give her, pretty much give her back her property at any point in time. I didn't hear much, if at all, from them until early September.
You say much at all. What do you mean by much at all?
I would get texts here and there, but there would be no follow through with coming to get the stuff. Whenever her restraining order went through, we actually spent 3 days bringing stuff over.
How often did you hear from them, if you can recall, between May and September, or her?
I would never hear from her. It was a third party. The third party would text me maybe every 3
You were ordered only to communicate through a third party, obviously. What do you have?
Text messages.
From May until September?
Yes.
All right.
And I also have a witness statement of the third party.
This is in May. Manny would like to come over and pick up, this is your friend, the third party, like to pick up some shoes and clothes for the new job she is starting. Would also like to check on her dogs. Is this okay? And when is a good time? Your response, sir, please don't come over. You don't give an explanation.
Till the restraining order went through and was confirmed, I wasn't allowed to have any contact with them.
When did the restraining order go through?
It was late May.
Okay. On the 28th of June, the defendant says there's 2 boxes, a sweater, an odd sock, and I think I found a wash rag too. I figure that'll fit in the moving van when the furniture is retrieved. It was my job to move what I could in 2 business days. It was also ruled that other than that, I don't have to do a thing to help move. Doesn't sound like a person that's trying to stop you, ma'am. Why don't you read some of where he tried to stop you from getting your things?
The restraining order started that very day, 4/16.
No, read, you told me. He tried to stop you and kept trying to stop you from getting your things. So I'd like for you to read it, because everything I just read didn't indicate any of that. In fact, a couple of the texts that I read showed indeed he was trying to get you your things back. Where are her things now, sir? You still have them?
Some of them are in storage at a different building in my place, and some of the things are still in my apartment.
You've
They're all in the same shape
never
she left them.
denied them to her?
No, sir.
We have tried to contact him since Labor Day, even before, and every time it was never a good time for him. And then after...
Let me see. You're reading that? Circle where
I
she's
do not
reading
know that Labor Day would be a good time. Yeah.
This one. Okay.
You all had, this is him, you all had time to pick up everything by August 8th. I'm not responsible for packing, and the court mandated 90 days pass. I've heard all this before. Get a hold of me when you all are really serious. Then I do not know that Labor Day is completely out. Yeah, you all asking to come by Labor Day. He told you call him when he gets serious. Give her things or allow her access within 10 days. If you show proof he has denied you access in the next 10 days, ma'am, then you will receive a judgment. In the meantime, you get your things back, all right? Good luck to you both. Have a good day.
Glad the whole thing's over. I look forward to never seeing her again the rest of my life and not having to put up with a psychopath anymore.
He is not a good man, and of course he can play one on TV.